You're tired, right? You've given them everything, your time, your energy, your love. And what do you get? Nothing, not even a second thought. But here's the thing, the moment you stop, everything changes. Today, I'll show you why pulling back is the secret to getting what you deserve. Stay with me, and by the end, you'll know how to flip the script and make them realize your true worth. Here's what's going to happen. I'll explain why your absence is more powerful than your presence. First, I'll show you why being too available makes them value you less. Then I'll share an ancient Stoic principle that proves why pulling back is the ultimate move. Stay with me, because at the end, I'll give you advice that could change how you see every relationship. You've always been there every time they call, every time they need something. You drop everything to help. You change your plans for them. But do they even notice? Or have they just come to expect it? The truth is, the more you give, the less they appreciate. The harder you try, the more they take you for granted. Seneca, the Stoic philosopher, said, "We suffer more in imagination than in reality." Right now, your imagination is playing tricks on you. You think that if you just give a little more or try a little harder, they'll finally see your worth. But here's the truth, that's not how it works. So why are you still chasing them? Why do you think their approval will fix how you feel about yourself? But what happens when you stop? When you finally pull back? That's when things get interesting. What happens when you pull back? When you stop being the one who's always available, always ready to drop everything for them, something changes. It's almost like they can feel it. Right now, they think they've got you in the palm of their hand. They don't believe they could ever lose you. Why would they? You've always been there, every single time they called. But when you stop answering, when you go silent, everything changes. It's like a switch flips, and they start noticing what's missing. The truth is, people don't value what they think they'll never lose. And right now, they don't think they'll lose you. But when you disappear, when they realize they can't count on you anymore, that's when it hits them. They feel your absence like a missing piece of their world. Suddenly, they're left wondering, where did you go? For the first time, they realize they've been taking you for granted. Now, they can't stop thinking about you, but here's the kicker. You're no longer waiting. What happens next? That's where your power starts. This isn't about playing games, it's about taking back your energy. Every time you chase them, every time you ask for their attention, you're showing them, I don't believe in my own worth unless you tell me I'm worth it. But here's the truth. You don't need their validation. You never did. People are drawn to strength, and you are stronger than you realize. They notice those who stand strong, whether someone is by their side or not. Think about it. Why would they miss someone who's always there, always waiting? They won't. But when you stop chasing, when you stop giving them all your energy, something changes. They start noticing your absence. They start wondering why you're no longer there, why you're not seeking their attention. That's when everything shifts. You've taken back control of your life. You've shown them you don't need them to be happy, and that's the most powerful move you can make. Let them see you thrive, even if they're watching from a distance. That's when they'll start missing you. Let's talk about what happens when you step back. At first, they won't believe it. They'll brush it off, thinking it's just temporary, that you'll come around like you always do. But as the days go by, something shifts. They start to panic. They pick up their phone, waiting for that message from you. They start asking themselves, why haven't I heard from them? It's like air. You don't notice it until it's gone. You were the emotional air they breathed, and now they feel like they can't live without you. That's when reality hits. They took you for granted, thinking you'd always be there. But now the silence is louder than anything. They feel lost, unsure of how to move forward. They didn't value you when you were there, and now they're trying to figure out why everything feels so wrong without you. Here's the thing, they're not in control anymore. The power has shifted, and now they're chasing you. Think about it. Someone who's always been there for you suddenly stops. At first, you don't really notice. It's easy to brush off because they've always been there, right? But as time goes by, it hits you hard. The texts you ignored, the calls you missed, they start to haunt you. You find yourself scrolling through old conversations, wondering why they've stopped reaching out. That's when you feel it, the weight of their absence. Suddenly, they're not just someone anymore. They become the person you can't stop thinking about. The attention you took for granted is gone, and now you feel invisible, overlooked. It's like a piece of your world is missing, and you can't believe you didn't see it before. That's what happens when someone stops chasing. You're forced to see their value in a way you never did before. And now, every little moment they were there for you is clear in your mind. You can't shake it. Their absence is all you feel. Here's the hard truth. Absence doesn't just make the heart grow fonder, it makes the mind race. It forces you to rethink everything, to question the moments you missed, and to wonder why you didn't value them when you had the chance. And that's when the regret hits. It's a powerful reminder. People only see your value when they're forced to live without it. Make them miss you. Now they're starting to worry. What if you've moved on? What if you've slipped out of their reach for good? That small feeling of fear starts growing inside them, and it's not long before they feel compelled to reach out. Maybe it starts with something simple, a casual, "Hey, how have you been?" message that seems harmless. But make no mistake, they're not just being polite, they're testing the waters, trying to see if they still have that hold on you, if you're still within their grasp. But here's the truth, they don't. Not anymore. Because while they were busy taking you for granted, you were busy discovering something far more important, your own worth. You don't need them to feel good about yourself. You've realized that your happiness doesn't depend on them, and that realization is your true power. While they're sitting there wondering if they've lost you, the truth is, you've already moved forward. You're not waiting for their attention anymore, and that's what scares them the most. It's that fear of losing you forever that starts eating away at them. And meanwhile, you're thriving, stronger than ever, no longer tied down by their approval. They'll try to move on. Maybe they'll meet new people, try to fill the space you left behind, and convince themselves that everything is fine. But deep down, something will always feel off. Why? Because you brought something into their life no one else can. You weren't just someone passing through, you added real value. You brought meaning, depth, and energy they won't find anywhere else. And now, with every person they meet, the comparison begins. It might start small, a little feeling that something is different, not quite right, but soon it grows. Every new person is held up against the memory of you, the way you made them feel, the way you were always there when they needed you, the little things that set you apart. It all stands out now. And guess what? No one measures up. They'll try to push it aside, convince themselves that they've moved on, that this new person will fill the gap. But deep down they know. You set a standard they can't forget. They'll keep searching for someone who can replace you, but that person doesn't exist. And while they're busy comparing everyone to you, you're out there living your life, thriving unbothered by their search. Because you've realized something they're only just beginning to understand. You know your worth, and you don't need anyone else to confirm it. This is where the regret hits them hard. It sneaks up slowly at first. A little voice in their head that says, "What have I done?" They'll start replaying all the moments they could have acted differently, all the times they could have appreciated you more. They'll think about the times they took you for granted, assuming you'd always be there. But now it's too late. They'll realize they messed up. They'll finally see that they let someone irreplaceable slip away. And here's the thing. By the time they come to terms with that, you've already moved on. You've grown stronger, more independent, more confident. You've become the best version of yourself without them. And now they're the ones chasing, scrambling to get you back into their life. But here's the catch. They're chasing a memory. You're not the person they once knew. You've evolved, and you're no longer waiting for them to see your worth. The regret is theirs to carry, and you're free. Now, I promised you something powerful at the end of this video, didn't I? Well, here it is. The most valuable lesson the Stoics teach us is that our worth doesn't come from anyone else. It's not about who picks you or who chooses you. It's about how you choose to see yourself. You're not defined by someone else's approval or attention. You define your own value, and that's what makes you truly powerful. When you stop chasing after people, when you stop waiting for them to notice you, something incredible happens. You start to realize that everything you need's already within you. You're not missing anything. So here's what I want you to remember. Stop chasing. Let them miss you. Let them feel your absence. And as you step into your own power, you'll see something amazing. The moment you reclaim your energy, the moment you stop seeking validation from anyone else, that's when they'll start to see your true worth. And by then, it won't even matter because you'll already know it yourself. Ready to stop chasing and take control? Drop a comment with "I'm done chasing" and show the world you no longer need anyone's validation. Focus on yourself and watch life change. You've got this. Now take that first step.